All right, let's talk about flags. You've probably noticed those little boxes and circles filled with colors like yellow, red, or blue on the sides of every node. Those are called flags, and they control what you see in the viewport, what gets rendered, and what Houdini skips. Let's go through them one by one. Let's start fresh. At object level, create a geometry container by pressing Tab in the network editor and typing geo. Drop that in and dive inside. Now press Tab again and add a sphere node and a box node. Right now, only the sphere has the blue display flag turned on. That's why we see the sphere in the viewport. Click the blue flag on the box, and instantly, the box shows up instead. Remember, you can only have one display flag active at a time on the SOP level. Don't worry about what SOP means just yet. I'll explain that in a later video. For now, just know the display flag controls what you're looking at in the viewport. Now, the purple render flag. By default, it follows your display flag, but they don't always have to match. Let's test this out. When you turn on the blue display flag on the sphere node, the purple render flag automatically follows it. Now, go to the render view by clicking the Render View tab just above the viewport and hit the render button. As expected, the sphere appears both in the viewport and in the render window. Alright, let's try something different. Keep the blue display flag on the sphere, but this time, move the purple render flag to the box. To do that, right-click on the box node, go down to Flag Options, and choose Render. Or if you want the quicker way, just hold down the T key on your keyboard and drag over the node you want the render flag on. Go back to the render view and hit render again. Notice what happens. In the viewport, we still see the sphere, but in the render, it shows the box instead. This is super handy, because sometimes you want to work with a lighter, low-resolution proxy in the viewport while keeping the high-resolution version ready for rendering. 2 flags, 2 separate controls. By the way, if you ever want to go back to the default behavior, where the render flag just follows the display flag, you can do that easily. Just hold down the R key on your keyboard and drag over the node. Now the render flag is back in sync with the display flag. Next is the yellow bypass flag. Let's drop in a transform node after our box. In the parameter pane, change the translate Y value to push it upward. Now watch this. If I click the yellow bypass flag on the transform, it's like muting the node. Houdini skips it, but it's still there in the chain. Click it again, and the move comes right back. Super handy for testing things without deleting your nodes. Next is the red flag. Click it on the transform node, and once it's on, try changing any parameter. You'll see nothing happens. That's because Houdini locks the result. Turn it off, and the node updates normally again. Finally, this little I, or node info flag. Hover over it, and you can see what kind of data is flowing through that node. Number of points, primitives, attributes. If something breaks in your network, this is where you check what's coming in or out of a node. And that's it. Flags give you full control over what you see, what gets rendered, and what's temporarily skipped, all without touching your main setup. Once you understand these little icons, troubleshooting in Houdini gets way easier. Hit subscribe, because next time we'll explore the different kinds of networks, SOPs, VOPs, and more, and see how they power everything you'll build in Houdini.